Last time on Power Rangers, Rita and Lord Zed welcomed an unexpected house guest.
Rito Revolto?
You know this klutz?
Know him? He's my brother!
And he brought mysterious eggs. Then while our heroes had lunch, Rito and his monsters attacked Angel Grove, and the Power Rangers called forth their Zords, but the power was lost, and the Zords were useless. Does this mean the forces of evil are ready to take over?
Ooh, I can hardly wait!
Find out on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, next!
Happy Saturday morning, Slashaholics, and welcome to episode number 14 of Trax Saturday Mornings. I'm Alex Vanover from the Trax Network, and joined today, my best friend, the OG, the Vince McMahon, if you will, of the Trax Network. Oh, is that not a good thing?
Stop saying that. Stop saying that, Alex. We had this conversation before.
Dang. The mastermind behind the Trax Network, Mr. Josh LaRue.
I mean, I would prefer you go back to calling me the Jeffrey Dahmer of narrators, but just not Vince McMahon. So
don't call me that. Damn it, I told you not to do it, especially with the Netflix documentary.
I'll say they're going to make a documentary about me if you keep calling me that.
6-parter. 6-hour-long episodes about you.
He agreed to sit down and do this documentary. It's like at some point he had to know, wait a second.
I wonder if all those terrible things I did are gonna come to light.
Like all these stories where I talked about trafficking women when they asked me those questions and I answered them honestly.
I binge watched the entire series yesterday. Spoiler alert. There's really no new information that's presented. It's like literally, if you're a big fan of wrestling like you and I are, you're gonna learn nothing new. Nothing. I got 5 hours and 40 minutes into the documentary, and I was like, they haven't broken a bombshell of any kind. And I was like, we're running out of time here. It's like when you're a kid and you're watching a TV show and you can tell that they're not going to wrap it up before the end of the show. And you're like, this is going to be to be continued. And it's Friday. Yeah. I'm going to have to wait till Monday for this crap. I saw that it was 20 minutes left in this documentary of Vince McMahon. I started to panic because it's like nothing good or exciting was presented. All they did was say, Vince McMahon, all these allegations came to light while we were filming. He decided to stop the interview process, and here are the allegations.
That's it, yeah.
That's it.
Triple H was like demanding that they take it down and not release it, and he's like talking to his attorney. He's like, what are the chances that they'll take this down?
While he's holding a sledgehammer.
No chance in hell.
Vince McMahon tried to buy back the documentary from Netflix, and they said no.
No chance in hell, buddy.
Yeah, nope, sorry. It's in the can. We're airing this.
You've got no chance. No
Hey,
chance.
Josh, you know who else has no chance in hell?
The Vampirus egg.
That for sure, but it looks like the Power Rangers, because in this episode, they're screwed. And in case you don't know what we're going to be talking about today, Slashketeers and Slashaholics, we're going to be talking about Ninja Quest Part 2 of the 4-part electrifying, just scintillating miniseries from 1995. Way better than Green with Evil so far, right?
Yeah. Vampire ass egg. I'm sorry, but yeah, it's way better. They've gotten better at acting. They've come into their 30s now. I mean, they're late teens, and they just look better, sound better.
I was actually being facetious. I don't think this is better, but
I do. I think it's better quality.
Okay, definitely better quality in production. And as far as Jason David Frank and Amy Jo and David, their acting is better. I can't really gauge the new 3 because they're so new, and some of them don't really have lines, and we'll get into that later on. So I can't gauge nothing on nothing.
I cannot wait until we do the 12-parter in the future, which is like where they get turned into kids, and it's the Alien Ranger quest where they get the Zeo crystals and become Zeo.
12-parter?
It's a 12-parter, man, but it is epic. It is epic. It's it's an epic miniseries.
Is it in this season?
It's at the end of this season, like the very last episode of season 3 is the precursor.
Yeah.
Is the first episode of the miniseries. Like you start with the final episode of season 3, Then you have 10 episodes of Alien Rangers, and then like a 1 or 2 Zeo thing where it ends, like it ties everything together. It's like a big epic. It's like the Lord of the Rings type thing for Power Rangers. It's really cool. It was a really interesting way because to change the suits and Zords up completely, because the reason we got 3 seasons of them in the suits they're in right now is because at the time Saban was afraid that if he started using footage from different seasons from Japan with different suits, different Zords and stuff, that it might hurt the product.
It would have.
They were running out of footage. They were even having new footage filmed just to finish season 3. And he got to the point where he had no choice. They had to, change it up to use footage from a different season. And I don't think if they had just abruptly changed it, it would have worked. But by doing this epic, like 12-part thing to transition from here to Zeo, it made it where like you were invested in it, in the change. And then they were able to change it every season going forward. But if they hadn't done it this way, I think it would have been too jarring. So yeah, I think you'll like it when we get to that.
12-parter. I guess it's 1995. So I guess the producers of Power Rangers were like, everybody's watching every day of the O.J. Simpson trial, and that's like 500 days in a row. I guess we could do a 500-day episode arc of Power Rangers. That'll work too.
Well, if we cover it, it'd probably be best to do like 3 segment, like do like 4 parts,
in one.
Yeah, and then there's some no, like 4 in a row, or 4, and then like do something else, and then come back and do the next 4 or something, and then we could always just edit, the thing into one. If people like, we could do that with Green with Evil as well. Edit the reviews into one as an option.
All right, well, we'll put a pin in that. We got to talk about today's episode, though, Josh. We're going to talk about episode 5 of season 3, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, The Ninja Quest, Part 2. And this episode first aired, Josh, on September 12th, 1995. And our good friend of the channel, director Terrence H. Winkless, is back at the helm. And I saved a couple of his credits for this episode because I didn't want to use all of them on the last episode. He was involved in Mask Rider. And he also was involved on a movie that I think you and I would both be interested in, or it's actually a show. It's called True Tidewaters, and it's about the apocalypse.
Okay.
So I never caught it then. I don't know if you did. I think it came out in like 1999, if I'm guessing correctly, but kind of sounded interesting. One of the writers on this episode was a gal named Shell Danielson, and she also wrote on Power Rangers Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. So she actually got to write for the movie.
Wow.
Beetleborgs, Masked Rider, Sweet Valley High.
Tommy was on that for an episode, I think.
Who was on that?
Jason David Frank for an episode, I think.
Sweet Valley High?
I think so. I think he was in one episode. No, California Dreaming. Sorry. California Dreams.
Jason David Frank was on California Dreams?
One of those shows he was on for an episode or 2. Yep.
Okay. So I just recently, I was today years old when I found out that one of the twins, the blonde twins from Sweet Valley High, was the girl who played Brandy in Joe Dirt. So I thought, I kind of had a crush on her growing up. She was always like super pretty and nice. She bought Joe Dirt an ice cream cone and let him have her dog. And Joe had a really bad life, so she came out of nowhere and helped him out. So I always really had a special place in my heart for Brandy. So we better go back and review Sweet Valley High too while we're at it. Okay. I don't think that was a Saturday morning show though. That was like USA Network after like 4 p.m. or something. I can't remember.
Hey, we can do their block, the USA block too, because then we could review some episodes of Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Oh, I definitely want to do that because you got me all pumped up when you showed those trailers for the show, man. Okay, so the day that it aired, September 12th, 1995, it was a Tuesday. So Josh and I were just going through the drudgery of grade school. He's like in 5th grade. I'm like in 6th grade. Just a living hell. Trying to make it to home so we can have some snacks and play with our toys and watch Power Rangers.
Yep.
Now, this was 29 years and 14 days ago, Josh.
Man,
so
crazy.
The #1 song in the United Kingdom, because we did the US last time, was Coolio. In the United Kingdom, the King of Pop, Michael Jackson, "You Are Not Alone." And do you remember anything about that song?
Oh yeah.
What do you
You
remember
are
about it?
not alone. I am here with you watching Ninja Quest Part 2. Yep.
The video was
No.
him and Lisa Marie Presley naked in a bathtub. Do you remember that?
Well, they weren't alone, that's for sure.
Yeah, because the gaffer, the cinematographer, the director, the writer of the music video, that was when Michael Jackson was like trying really, really hard to make everybody believe that he wasn't doing SA
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm straight. I love women. As a matter of fact, I love women so much. I am the king of pop. I am going to be with the princess of rock and roll, Lisa Marie Presley. Royalty combined, kind of like a Power Ranger, like a Megazord of pop and rock and roll music, Josh.
Oh wait, yeah. Yeah. In a way.
Right?
Yeah, in a way.
Kinda. Before they'd have sex, they would each announce what their color was and what power they had before they united in bed.
White or black Ranger power.
And anytime he hit his finishing move, um, hey, here's a fun fact about September 12th, 1995. So
Okay.
on this very day, the Harlem Globetrotters, Josh,
Met
they
Scooby
lost
Doo.
their
Oh,
they lost their first game in 8,829 games to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's All-Stars in Vienna, Austria. They lost 91-85 to Kareem's team of retired basketball All-Stars. That was their first loss since 1971.
okay, if I'm Kareem and I'm going up against the Harlem Globetrotters, I'm not going to beat them. Even if I know I'm about to beat them, I like stumble or something so they can get the last 2 points or something, to put them a point ahead. It's kind of a dick move to beat the Globetrotters.
The Globetrotters were like the WWE of basketball.
Did Kareem really
Definite.
need that win though? Like seriously.
I don't know. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is like world famously one of the most competitive, great basketball players of all time. They're probably like, Kareem, okay, here's the deal. Globetrotters are going over tonight. You just keep it close. And then he just went into business for himself and
Yep.
swerved
Yep.
the Globetrotters. Screwed him. It was the Vienna, Austria screw job. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar went in for business for himself. Josh, 1995. What was the average cost of a movie ticket?
$7.
Oh man, no,
$5.
you're close.
$6.50.
No,
$4.50.
$4 and
$4.
35 cents.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I remember in 1995 it being like 250,
I
but
remember there was a $2 movie place, like for the movies that were about to come out on VHS.
yeah,
But I don't remember it being that cheap. 450. That's crazy.
no, mine was 250. But I think that's because I grew up in a town that was like really economically downtrodden. I was on the coast. It used to be like a really big mill town. And by the time I was like in grade school and junior high, all the mills and everything had went away. It was like I basically grew up in the town from the movie Walking Tall with The Rock. Like the
Yeah.
only job you can get is like at 7-Eleven or selling like, drugs or something. Not a great town. How much was a loaf of bread, Josh?
79 cents.
Price is right. You're killing it. Loaf of bread. The national average was $1.15. Okay.
Okay.
How much? Two more things, and then we'll take a commercial break, and then we'll get into the episode. Josh, how much was a new house in 1995?
Oh shit, I don't know. 30,000, 35,000.
No, I wish. That was maybe in 1930, Josh. No, new house nowadays is like 400 to $500,000. So if you and I wanted to get a house, attach it to the /Trax network studio and live at the studios, okay? 500,000. Now, if we went back in time to 95 and did it, $113,000.
For the average cost of a house?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because you didn't really say what size house. I was just thinking like the cheapest, most downtrodden house possible.
You're like, Alex.
30, 40,000. Double wide trailer?
Alex, I was thinking of the house from Derry, Maine that Pennywise lives in.
Yeah, like the cheapest price. Yeah.
How much would the house from Elm Street, 1428, cost once by the time they got to Dream Master and the house was just a total shithole? How much would that house cost?
They would be paying people to stay there.
Yeah, come on in. I'm Realtor Frederick Krueger, bitch. I'm gonna give you a tour. Okay, last one before we go to a commercial break.
Okay.
How much was the national average for a Big Mac value meal? So this has a medium fry and a medium Coca-Cola and a Big Mac. How much was it?
$3.89.
Damn, you are really close, like very close on that one. $4.59.
I figured it was some. I remember getting like, because around 95, 96, I was like in that phase where I didn't want a Happy Meal anymore because I was growing, hitting puberty. So I like went straight from Happy Meal to like double quarter pounder meal.
Oh wow.
So I remember them being like, I remember it was like almost $5 for a double quarter pounder meal. So
Yeah. I remember being about that age and like McChickens. Do you remember the McChickens? They were like maybe $1.09, maybe 99 cents, but they were fried in the beef tallow.
Oh yeah.
Totally different flavor than the McChicken today.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Way
Definitely.
better. Super cheap. You could get a McChicken supersized meal for God, wasn't it 39 cents to supersize something or something like that?
Yeah, yeah. It was like
340.
19, 29, 19 for me, large. It started at small, 19 was medium, 19 cents medium, 29 cents large, 39 cents supersize. Yep.
Yeah, totally. The good old days, man.
Man, I'm gonna have to go get a double quarter pounder when we're done. I'm gonna
I
drive.
think it
It's
might
like
be
a town away, but I'm gonna go get one.
Yeah, might be McDonald's night. It's kind of always McDonald's or pizza night when we record.
Yeah, my stomach's growling, man. A few years ago, McDonald's switched to fresh hamburger meat, like fresh meat, like Wendy's, and the taste just changed, man. It tasted like Wendy's burgers to me all of a sudden. But like they secretly switched back to frozen, I think, because
Maybe.
like over the past year, it tastes like it used to again. So
You can't mess with that classic
no.
frozen soybean patty beef concoction they've got going on there.
I remember the chicken nuggets tasting better when it had like rib meat in there too, where it wasn't all white, where it had like the brown and white. They tasted so much better.
You remember getting a nugget where it would be brown, and it was like so good.
Yes, it was so much better. And they used a lot of MSG back then.
Damn.
You know what else we used a lot of back then?
What?
Little handheld video games, Tiger Electronics.
You're right, man. That's a great segue. Should we hit them up with? Let's go to commercial break real quick.
Let's do it.
All right.
We'll be right back.
That's wild.
You've got the power. With Tiger's new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers handheld game, you can pulverize the Putty Patrol.
Yes! Now they're Mudman.
When you've got the power, you can pound that pig.
Take that, pork chop.
And give Goldar grief.
Huh? Yeah! It's Morphin time! Your Megazord Mash!
When you've got the power,
I've got Rita's wand!
And I got a headache!
you've got Tiger's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers handheld game.
Now back to our show. Yes!
We're gonna have, dude. So you were saying that GameStop was offering that handheld Tiger game recently?
Yeah, brand new. Like within like a year or two ago, I was in a GameStop and they had like 4 or 5 different Tiger Electronic games, like brand new again. That Tiger re-released them. I should have grabbed one. I so should have grabbed one.
Yeah, I definitely would have bought the Power Ranger one if it was available for sure.
I remember playing a Hulk Hogan wrestling challenge one. It was like kind of a big, thick one. And I played that thing and like you had to beat Million Dollar Man, Mr. Perfect. There was one other one and then Earthquake. And yeah, it was like 4 you had to beat and then you fight them again. They're harder. I played the hell out of it in Jurassic Park trying to get. I always got killed in the first thing constantly by the Dilophosaurus that spit at you.
The final boss in that Hulk Hogan wrestling game, I think I remember it was you just got into a ring with Hulk Hogan and he's being interviewed and you have to stop him from putting his foot in his own mouth.
Yep.
That's the match.
You got to stop him from being racist and get involved in stuff he should just leave alone. It's not going to work for me, brother.
You have to keep his total number of lies during the interview to under 10 and you win.
Yep, that's how you win the championship. Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, anyway, so brother, that's when the Wrestling Boot Band put out their 10th multi-platinum #1 selling vinyl.
Hulkamaniac in heaven.
He didn't even you know what the most egregious part of that whole story is? He didn't wrestle at SummerSlam when Brett and Davey Boy were in the main event. It
Yeah,
was 92. It
well,
was
the Wembley he's talking about in the song was like a WCW event in Wembley, but the thing is that happened like a month after it said the song was written. So it just so happened that he did a Wembley show where there was the Make-A-Wish kid, but the song had already been written. So I don't understand. So I think it was just luck. I think he just had luck that he got like a little cover story there.
I think he just Wembley rhymed with whatever lyric he was trying to fit into the song.
I do
Could have been any stadium, you know what I mean?
I do too.
Let's start breaking down this episode, Josh. And the first thing that I have written down, and I don't know what you have written down, it just says the Zords are completely destroyed, and the Rangers have also completely lost their powers, and now they have to walk back to the command center.
Yeah.
And I had one question about that.
Okay.
Okay. They used to have to fly or teleport to the command center. How in the hell are they going to walk there?
Dude, in that miniseries I was saying about their kids and have to walk there. But yeah, I have a couple notes on that. Like my first one was like they're walking through a field of destroyed Zords, which is pretty cool. Okay, that was a pretty cool visual. And somebody's like, maybe Alpha can fix them, and Billy's like, if only it were that simple. It's like last episode Alpha had to do everything, but this one he's not capable of anything.
Not even close. Yeah.
And then Tommy, just out of the blue, is like, it looks like we've lost more than our Zords. We lost our virginity. I mean, our powers. He just some of the stuff they say is just so, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck because I know it's a kid's show, but like just some of it is like no shit, Sherlock. Like one of them's like, it's going to be a long walk back to the command center. Let's go. Yeah, that's not helping, Billy. Okay, we know.
Yeah. Well, we're good, Billy. We understand how long of a walk it's going to be. Actually, this is our first time walking back to the command center because we've always flown there in the rad bug or been teleported. So
yeah, if you hadn't pawned the rad bug for drugs, Billy,
we go immediately to Lord Zed, and everyone is like celebrating. They're having a massive party. Rita's voice, I noticed here, Josh, is more Rita than ever.
Oh,
it's
yes.
like not the same voice from season 1 and 2, and it's like a bad impersonation of someone trying to do Rita.
Yeah, I think this is when like the first one died or something, and the new voice took over.
Horrible.
But yeah, it you get used to it eventually. But Rito, everybody's proud of him there, and Goldar makes a true statement in this scene. He says, I could have done it too if I had a bunch of monsters helping me. And I agree. I think Goldar could have done that. So
I also agree. And I just like we said in part 1 of our first review of this series, it's crazy that they didn't think like, wow, one monster almost took the Power Rangers out. What if we just added another one? How would that look?
Yeah. Or,
how would that look?
And just you know what? Just to put it over the edge, let's send 3.
Back at the command center, Billy says the power core is completely destroyed. He wouldn't know where to begin. And here's a question I have. Here's a note. What did Zordon and Alpha exactly do before Billy joined the Power Rangers?
Right.
Like Billy's obviously the one now who fixes everything. He like understands all the technical issues of everything. So Alpha and Zordon aren't they the ones who made this team and like put together all the tech? Like, what the hell's going on here?
Like, how did the Zords be exactly like Billy has to do everything now, but like, how did everything get destroyed like this? Because I have a note here. It's like, because Billy's line is like, oh man, what a mess, Alpha. And it's like, oh man, what a mess, Alpha. Are you on meth again? He just took everything apart just to take it apart. Like everything is taken apart. All the controls are pulled out, wires are undone.
I know what happened.
Okay.
Alpha was taking apart all that stuff to get the copper out of the equipment so he could sell it for drugs.
He's like, I know you're getting ready to replace me with Alpha 6, and I'm not going down without some payment.
He's like, hey, on Trailer Park Boys, Ray, selling your copper wire and your plumbing for drinking money is fucked. Or for gambling money, or liquor money. I can't remember. Is fucked.
Oh God, man, this is also funny because like they're like, Zordon, can you bring the Zords back? And it's like, no, they're all destroyed. And then randomly Adam, out of all people, is like, wait, where did our powers come from?
Mm-hmm.
And Zordon's like, from the Ninja Temple, Ninjor created the power coins, and I think there's a map around here somewhere. And Adam's
allegedly,
like, yeah,
allegedly, he said.
And Adam's like, map? Not like there is, but more like, what's a map? Are you making that up? But it just like poofs into existence right in front of them, floating in the air. So yeah.
And wait, this is looking forward a little bit, but when they actually get the map and they're holding it, the paper looks like it was printed that day. It looks brand new and it's still like really crisp.
And
like
then later, yeah. It looks like a kid drawing in like kindergarten when they actually.
Yeah, like me and you hid the instructions to like one of our toys in the sawdust, and we're pretending like we're on an odyssey to find it. Yeah.
Oh God! And Alex, Zoran like tells him because they have to do a different story than the movie, obviously. But he's all like, "You'll have to go through the desert of despair," and I can just see the Rangers, be like, we just walked through the California desert for 3 hours. Like, God damn it, we have to go through the desert again. And,
hey, here's something I have written down. So they go to they show the command center, and it's like a physical building, right? And they have the pipe like on top of it.
Yeah.
I just wrote down, what is the address for the command center? Because it's clearly like a physical building, like obvious, like in California, because they walk there.
Yeah.
Who pays for the utilities because they have power there, right?
They generate Alpha 1, 2, 3, and 4's corpses power the command center.
They're like that one news story that just came out where this guy found out he was paying his neighbor's electrical bill for the last 18 years. Did you see that?
No, really?
Yeah, this just happened this week. So I wonder if like Zordon and Alpha had been like stealing their neighbor's electricity or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah, some dude found out, spoiler alert, /Trax news story. This guy found out he had been paying his neighbor's utility bills for 18 years.
Oh wow. Well, that's why it was so expensive. Oh God, man. The Zordon was like, there should be enough power to transfer them to the desert.
Yeah.
Alpha says that, and it's like, keep going, Alpha. It's almost working. Billy does. It's like, yeah, shut up. I know. But after he leaves, the funny part is Zordon just randomly goes, if the temple does exist, Alpha, the Rangers, a group of not so bright teenagers, one of which who doesn't know what a map is, are the only ones who can find it.
Also, did you notice, and I don't know where it is in my notes, but since you're bringing it up, did you notice Tommy makes another executive decision for the entire group, including Zordon and Alpha? Because Zordon's like, you're going to have to go to the desert of despair. Like, this might not even exist. And even if it does exist, it might not work. So I'm suggesting as the leader, like I'm Zordon, for you guys not to do it.
Yeah.
And then Tommy's like, nah, if there's any chance at all, we're doing it.
Yeah, it's Tommy, but yeah, it's like, even though we might just spend the rest of our lives there in despair and starving to death, we're going.
We might die on our way there. Alpha mentions the map, where they found that Tommy decides for himself. Alpha barely is able to transport him. We cover all that. So they go to the desert. They go to the desert of despair, Josh. And this is another note I have.
Okay.
Dude, they didn't pack any food.
No.
They didn't pack any water. They didn't pack any like emergency. You know how like when you're like a survivalist, you always have like that emergency blanket that you like unfold.
Yeah, space blanket.
Nothing. They brought nothing. Nothing.
You know what? They didn't bring any survival supplies. But when they get there and they land, the first thing Billy says was like, we go that direction. But if you look at the map, it's just like a drawing of like different things. He's got no compass. As you said, they didn't bring anything.
Nothing.
He's like, we go that way. And then there's like moaning. Like it doesn't sound like despair. It sounds like something else.
It sounds like Channel 99 is scrambled in 1995. And young Josh and Alex are trying to watch as much as they can before their parents come home.
That's what it sounds like. It's the moaning of despair.
I think Josh and Alex are trying to watch some illegal channels here.
You know what, Alex? I know we just got here. All I have is this kindergarten's drawing of like a desert, but I know for a fact we go that way.
Yeah, he keeps saying like there's a rock structure or some sort of structure that like kind of resembles whatever it is on this, elaborate map that Ninjor drew 500 years ago. Okay, so we're 5.5 minutes into this episode, Slashaholics, and Rocky finally is allowed to speak.
Yay.
So this episode is like 20 minutes long. Rocky finally has dialogue. 5.5 minutes into the episode. Did you notice that at all, Josh?
I noticed that's the first time he talks. Adam even got 2 lines before then. What did he say?
I don't remember what he said. He said they're in the desert of despair. He's not even on camera when he speaks. They're speaking of something relating to the map or the moaning. Okay. And he says something like, "Oh, that sounds weird," or "Oh, I need to be alone and investigate this moaning further." Or something, you know what I mean? Like So we go from Rocky finally being able to speak on camera. I wonder if he's being paid per line, and they're just trying to keep his dialogue down.
Probably.
And we go to Bulk and Skull.
I'm proud of them. I am proud of them, man. Proud of Bulk and Skull.
Yeah, they show up to the police academy, or it's like the junior police something. What is it? Junior police, Angel Grove, junior police, whatever.
Yeah.
Boot camp. And if this is just an Angel Grove police academy thing for junior police officers, there's like hundreds of police cadets here.
Yeah, lots of junior police for sure. Like they're molding them young. In fact, there's a cop standing there, and Bulk and Skull, say, "Is this the training ground or whatever?" He's like, "Why do you want to be police?" And they're like, "We want to impress the girls." He's like, "I need a better reason than that." And I think Skull said something like, "We want to unlawfully arrest people, abuse our power, and use our power to get ahead. I mean, protect the girls, protect the girls."
Yeah, so he says, okay, protect the girls. That's totally fine. I just had one note about this scene. Hey, what's the age requirements to join the Junior Police Academy? Because Bulk appears, Josh, and stop me if I'm incorrect, he looks to be like he's near 40 here.
He actually played Bulk at 40 on Power Rangers Samurai for a season, but yeah, he's definitely in his early 20s at this point.
For sure.
But they see everybody working out and stuff, and they like freak out. And I've got a note here, like, what did they expect?
Skull wanted to flee. He wanted to leave after he saw all the people doing push-ups and set-ups and climbing the rope and stuff. Bulk was actually the voice of reason and said, "You're going to do it, and you're going to like it."
There's some stuff coming up in this miniseries that it's not this episode, so I'm not going to go into a big tangent, but I'm proud of Bulk for some of the stuff he does on this storyline. The actor impressed me too. Some of the stuff he does in the next couple episodes, but more importantly, Alex, we get to go back to the moon, and Rita is chanting. She's watching the egg hatching,
Yeah.
And she chants, she's like, "It's time! It's time! It's Veda time!"
It's time! It's time! It's Tanga time! Okay, yeah, I have that exact same note. It says Rito messes up Lord Zed's name again, calls him Ed.
I love that. He calls him Ed and then Ted, and yeah, and it's weird though. Like the movie's called the things Tangu Warriors, but on here they call them Tanga.
Did Did they do that because maybe they wanted to have a new spin on the character, like that it's different, or did they do that for maybe they didn't own the rights to the name?
What I
Or maybe-
found out is that Tanga is like Japanese for a certain bird or certain ninja thing or something.
Mhm.
But the people who made the movie didn't like the sound of it. They thought Tangu sounded better. So they changed the name. It was supposed to be Tanga in the movie, but
Okay.
I'd have to look it up again, but it's like a Japanese Tanga stands for something. But the movie just didn't like the sound of Tanga.
Okay.
But yeah,
What do you like better? Which one?
Tangu sounds like Ragu. Tanga Warrior. I kind of like Tanga Warrior.
I like Tangu. I like Tangu.
Or what my son called them whenever he was 3.
Peckers.
The Peckers. Yes. The Peckers are beating the Power Rangers.
The Peckers are beating the Power Rangers. Let's get our mind out of the gutter, Josh, and let's head.
I was gonna say Rita's just really excited about these eggs, man. And like one egg hasn't hatched. And she's like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Oh, that's a vampirass monster. They hatch from the same egg. Like."
How does he know that? Because when they in part 1, he stole those eggs, and he even says himself he doesn't know what's in the eggs. So
Exactly.
how does he all of a sudden know what's in the eggs?
And on top of that, they start talking about we need to send the Tanga warriors to the Desert of Despair or whatever. If Zed and them knew about the temple,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Why have they not destroyed it?
or at the least, like in the Bible, like when God took Adam and Eve out of the Garden of Eden, why didn't he just put a flaming sword in front of it or something, so the Power Rangers could never enter? He knows that if they ever lose their powers, they might be able to get their powers back and better powers, but he does nothing about it. You're 100% right.
And the most depressing thing about this whole story is these new Tangas talk like in the movie, but we don't get the Jack Nicholson one, that's like through 1 and 2 a raging river. It's just bland, and they don't have their weakness like blatantly emblazoned on their costume. no giant Z like punch here.
So what's going on with the putties right now in season 3? Is it just they ran out of resources to make putties at this point and they have to pivot, or what's going on?
I mean, Finster can make putties all day,
Mm-hmm.
but unless they've ran out of clay, I don't know. But yeah, I guess the putties have just gotten their butts handed to them too many times. Like literally, got punched in the Z, broken to pieces. Power Rangers picked up their butt and handed it to them too many times. I guess that's what's going on. But
dude, I think we need to go to another commercial break real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Ooh,
We're gonna hit the seas again once all these commercials end.
In all the universe, there is only one power great enough to join forces and save the world. And this summer, there's only one place to find it: McDonald's. They're here.
Okay, Rangers, we're going in.
The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers have landed. Now at McDonald's, you can buy your own Ninja Zord and action figure from the movie. 6 sets to collect to give you Ninja Zord power.
Cool Zord.
Thanks, I just had it washed.
Now back to our show, you're sinking.
when we get back to the Rangers in the Desert of Despair,
Mm-hmm.
I have a note that I really think Billy's just guessing at this point, because Rocky gets a line again, and he goes, he's like, "What you got, Billy?" And Billy's like, that way.
Yeah, I sure, that'll work. He says something like, according to the map, this beautiful map that is so highly detailed, that was drawn by a 3-year-old ninja, that the structure they're looking for resembles what's on the map, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'd love to see what the map said the structure looked like.
Well,
'Cause I don't think we
Kimberly,
get to see it.
Kimberly, just out of all the rocks that are around them, is like, "Hey, look at this rock," and like she touches it and it explodes and it makes Billy drop the map.
and fire breaks out for some reason
Yeah.
and burns the map.
And the picture behind me, if you can see it, everybody, you see that? Billy starts running for the fire and everybody holds him back. And Kimberly's like, hey, that's my job. I'm the one that like runs towards the exploding or burning, things, and everybody holds me back. But and then Billy goes by memory and he's like, we'll know where to go when we see it. And Rocky gets line number 3, Alex. And he's like, well, it's got to be around here somewhere.
And like, Adam has another great line of dialogue right after Rocky's third line. And he looks at the camera and breaks the fourth wall and says, map?
Oh, yeah. Map? What's a map?
What's a map?
He still don't know what a map is. He's like, y'all keep talking about this. Is it like a nap? Is it a way to sleep?
What is a map? Okay, so the one egg, right? She picks it up and its only reason in the story is to burn the map up. Who put the egg there? Who put that there? Is that just a random, because they're in the desert of despair, they just have random rocks like that?
I guess so, but and you know what? We find out some of the despair right here, because not only is the despair Rocky saying it's got to be around here somewhere, like it's got to be around here somewhere. Quicksand. Aisha actually gets a plot scene in the movie, and when you see her sinking into this quicksand or whatever, why is she so far away? That's my first question, because she's like way far away from the group. And B, when everybody links arms to like help pull her out, why is Kimberly on all fours just like screaming at them to get her? Like,
not helping at all.
Not helping. She's like Lex or Tim in Jurassic Park at the end. Like Ellie and Alan Grant are like trying to keep the door closed as the raptor's pushing the door open, and they're trying to like get the gun strapped with their feet. The girl Lex is on the computer trying to hack in, and Tim's just standing there by Lex like, come on, when he could have ran over and handed the gun to Alan. Like, that's Kimberly right now. She's like, ah! That's all she does. So, oh my God, so bad.
She knows that she's only got like 4 or 5 more episodes to film in her contract, because she's going to the gymnastics place in Florida. So she's just kind of phoning it in here, I think. She might be delirious too. They don't have any water. She might be dehydrated.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But why did Aisha get so far away from the group? Like, what was she doing? Sightseeing?
Well, at this point, she probably had 2 lines as well. And she was just like, you know what? Fuck it. I don't even need to be in this scene. Whatever. She's pissed. She's a teenager with attitude. And she's just kind of segregating herself from the group. And then Quicksand strikes, like it always does in any 80s and 90s television show, of course.
In the middle of a dry desert. Yeah. And instead of putties, Alex, we get a bunch of peckers that can talk.
The Tangu Warriors show up, and Lord Ted shows demanded that the peckers place the monster egg in front of the entryway to Ninjor's like palace, basically.
Is Ninjor going to be scantily clad like the girl in the movie?
Darcia, was that her name?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's wearing a headband, little tank top number.
We'll have to review the movie sometime, but there's a scene where like it's supposed to be the Tanga flying at him, and it's like, there's a camera flying right at us. But Kimberly proves her uselessness again, Alex. She like runs, like they're all fighting and stuff, and she runs into like this little hole in the wall and just starts kicking a leg out, like, get away. And the nerd of the group, Billy, has to come up and literally save her. So yeah.
I have the note. What you're talking about is the Tango Warriors show up, jump them, try to take the Power Rangers lunch money and just start whipping their ass.
Yeah.
The Tango Warriors, from what they kick Billy, right? Don't they immediately kick Billy?
Yes.
Kimberly goes and hides. Aisha even gets like shoved or kicked or something. So they get stuck. They all kind of follow them down in this rock structure. They just coincidentally go into this cave area that Kimberly's like kicking out of.
Yeah, and Adam like touches a wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's like He's still confused on what a map is at this point, but hey, at least they better be glad they brought him, because they would have been screwed if he hadn't like touched a wall and caused an earthquake. So.
Yeah, so this earthquake happens because he accidentally touches it, and like a secret pathway from where they're at opens, and then they go through it. They follow it all the way to the end. Tommy is pissed because it's a dead end,
yes.
And he's just about to monologue, and he slips through like what I can only describe. I think they say it's a power vortex.
Yeah, he was gonna punch that wall, man. It looked like he was gonna punch the shit out of that wall. I've got like some notes going into it, because Billy, you said they go all the way to the end. Billy literally says, like, he's like, we should probably follow the tunnel to the end. And it's like no crap. I just thought we'd stand around here for eternity. But one of them asks where they are, and it's like, too bad we don't have a map. Adam's like, what's a map?
Wait, Adam's like, map? What is this map everybody keeps talking about?
Do I need to take a nap?
And did Zordon pack any lunches for you guys? Because I'm starving and I'm thirsty.
But yeah, and then the Tangu warriors figured out that the Rangers are no longer in that little crevice.
Mm-hmm.
So like, okay, I guess this is the entrance. Bring the egg over here, and they put it there, But they get to the end right before Tommy does what you're talking about,
mm-hmm.
and somebody says we need to look for any light filtering through. And there's like this huge light where they're standing.
Yeah, in the front.
Yes. But yeah, Kimberly's like, Billy, where did Tommy go? And Billy should have been like, Billy, where did Tommy go? That's what you sound like, Kimberly.
Because Kimberly, true to form, is always thinking about like her sexual needs when it comes to Tommy. It's like, where's Tommy? I need to know where Tommy is. He's my number one priority at all times.
He was gonna punch that wall though. Like Tommy's like you said, he like gets pissy. Mm-hmm. And like storms towards the wall, and I think like he was gonna like really show his true rage,
Yeah, he was gonna finally just karate chop that wall, but he karate chopped his way into the other part of the space-time continuum. So
it was a great segue, in my opinion. Like they all go through it. I thought that was a cool way to set up the next episode for kids to be excited. But
sure.
That's just me.
Yeah, no, I've found that they have a formula with writing these miniseries. Like episode 2 or 3, depending on if it's 4 or 5 episodes, tends to be like the Empire Strikes Back of it. It's like they're in the worst possible shape they could be in. They are absolutely screwed, and they're Hulk Hogan right before he starts doing this. Right? It's before they no-sell and everything turns around for them. Excuse me. Josh, did you like this episode?
I did. Because I remember watching this as a kid. Like, okay, season 1 of Power Rangers, I didn't see a lot of. Like, I saw the Pudgy Pig episode, which was a horrible way to start the show as a rerun, and then I rented Green with Evil, like part 3 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Kids at school were talking about it. I started watching it towards the end of season 1. So like I watched all of season 2 and 3 and Zeo, but this was like right at the prime of that period, when I watched until the middle of Turbo when everybody left. But yeah, so this was right in that prime period after the movie had come out. I had all the cool toys, which I got a funny story. They made the shiny for the movie. They didn't make toys that looked like the padded suit things they had in the movie. They just made the TV show toys and made them shiny and metallic.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like a year after the movie, during season 3, towards the end of season 3, for like 2 episodes, they get something called metallic armor on the TV show, and it's like just sparkle suits. And they did that because the license for the movie ran out, so they had to come up with something to sell the movie version of the toys.
Yeah.
So they added it to the show for like 2 episodes. But no, this was right in the prime. I love this. I love the Ninja Quest series. It was a little disappointing compared to the movie. I didn't understand why they didn't just pick up with the ninja powers that they already had. As an adult, I get it, because it was like a different continuity. It was a different universe type thing. But it was fun. It was an event. Me and my friends were talking about it at school all week long about the Ninja Quest, who Ninja was going to be. We're going to get to see the Zords from the movie. We still thought Ivan Ooze was going to show up all the way till the end, but
Yeah, that was I mean,
they could have got
spoiler.
another actor. They could have got another actor to play Ivan Ooze, but
He was so good though. He was like the guy who
Paul
played
Freeman.
Skeletor in Masters of the Universe. It was like so good
You know
that
the
anything else would have been a letdown, I think.
the bad guy at the beginning of Indiana Jones, the first one,
Hmm.
that like says "Sorry, Indy," and he takes the thing.
Yeah.
Paul Freeman. That's the guy that plays Ivan
Ivan
Ooze.
Ooze. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Very
Like
good actor. Very good actor.
super good actor. They hit a home run by casting him. Did I like the episode? Yes, I did. And it's not really for the like really any of the reasons you gave. It's basically like I like to see more of the villains, and they show a lot more of the villains in this, and you can kind of see like their motivations and like how they interact with each other, kind of see more comedy coming out of them.
Yeah.
It was nice to see a different side of them, and they kind of like peeled the layers of the onion back on Rita and Zed and Rito and stuff. It's kind of
There's a
neat.
lot. There's a lot of that this season. Really, there. Somebody made a comment at one point that said we should do like a podcast where we start at the beginning and like watch like 4 or 5 episodes and do a podcast episode where we talk
Mhm.
about them and just watch all of it over time. That would be fun. It would be a very big task.
Yeah.
But I think that it'd be a lot of fun because like season 3, Zed and Rita and Rito and Goldar, it's just so much fun until parents ruined it. And in Zeo, Zed and Rita are gone because the parents were complaining that Lord Zed was too scary. So they replaced it with the Machine Empire.
Yeah.
Little tidbit I learned the other day, slash Kateers. Did you know that Queen Machina in Power Rangers Zeo, do you know who she was voiced by? Do you know?
No.
Alex Borstein, Peter's wife on Family Guy.
Oh, really?
Yes, she
Mad
voices.
TV herself.
Yep, Mad TV. She voices Queen Machina. I had no idea until the other day,
Man,
and I
she's
started
awesome.
listening, and I was like, "Holy shit, that is Alex! Cool." So
She's got a great name. Yeah, she's done a lot of stuff, man. What are your least favorite parts and your favorite parts of this episode?
least favorite parts: not enough action, like no Zords, no morphing, which of course. But my favorite parts was the villains because they're always fun. I was, Bulk and Skull didn't have enough Bulk and Skull. That's a negative.
Like none, yeah.
Yeah, like
scene.
one scene. But that changes, I do say in the next one. But I did enjoy getting a lot of footage of just the group together. Rocky getting more than like 3 lines. Aisha got a couple lines. I hope that Adam will figure out what a map is. But no, it was exciting as far as stretching the rubber band, having something to talk about at school the next day. And it ended with a great to be continued scene of them going into a wall. You don't know where they're going. So they could wake up in the 7th circle of hell. We don't know.
My least favorite parts. I have this written down. Very first thing. Why does Tommy never listen to anybody else? And I love Tommy. Tommy's the OG #1 Power Ranger forever, in my opinion. But I'm noticing that in a lot of these episodes, he doesn't listen to anybody else.
No.
How does Rita, and you brought this up or way earlier, how does Rita and Lord Zed know about Ninjor and the other powers, but Zordon doesn't know? Zordon's not sure, and he even has a map.
That's a good point because, like, why didn't they, when they said, they have no powers, we can destroy Earth? Why didn't they go destroy Earth? But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I know. What are they waiting for? Like, Rito's like, yeah, we'll go destroy Earth soon, Ed. But I got to finish making this punch for the party.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Yeah. So, and then some things I liked about the episode. I liked that. I guess I would say I liked that the Power Rangers, like, just on a personal level, just the way I think about my life, their backs are against a wall, and they decide not to just quit and quiver in the face of adversity. They are going to face this head on and
Yep.
do the very best they can. And that's something I've always liked about the Power Rangers. So yeah, I definitely like to see them not give up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really I really like that message, especially for kids at that age, because I think that you're kind of like not even letting them know that's the message you're telling them, but you're like when you go to a movie theater and in the trailer it's like drink Coca-Cola and it's like subliminally messaging, you
Yeah.
know. That's kind of what they're doing there, and I like that. So that's for good this time. So they did it for good. They used subliminal messaging for good. What do you rate this episode, Josh, on a scale of 4 Lord Eds out of 4? 4 Eds being the best, 1 Ed being the worst.
I give it 3 Eds and also 3 map. But no, 3 Eds out of 4 Eds. It wasn't as good as the first episode. It lacked some of the stuff that they should have found some way to include a little more action.
Exactly. Like one fight scene somewhere.
Even a flashback or something, you know? Like, do you remember when we had our powers and we fought such and such, and then you see a scene of them and, you know, morphing and fighting or something for a second, just to have it in the episode?
Yeah, just anything.
But no, I give it a 3. I don't go lower than that because it was cool that it's part of an epic story, a 5-parter. So yeah, 3.
I give it a 2.5 Lord Eds out of 4, which would bring our Trax network score to an aggregate score of 2 3/4 stars. So 2 3/4 Lord Eds or 2 3/4 maps. Yeah, I think that's the joke of the episode, the map question. That's great.
Like, what is a
Good
map?
work.
Well, just watch the scene, you know, and it's not like there was a map. It's like, map? What's this word you're saying?
Map. Do you remember going on trips as a kid and like your dad getting lost and pulling out the map
like
from behind his chair? Yeah, and unfolding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would just say you're fucked.
That's that. Yeah, every time.
Dude, Slashaholics, when Josh and I were kids, you would literally just drive to a place where you knew the physical address, but you didn't quite know how to get there, and you would just trust that you could get there.
And your dad would never stop and ask for help from anybody.
Oh,
but
man.
Your mom would, but not your dad. Like your mom, like, pull over and ask somebody. I'm not gonna do it. I got the map here. You know, this giant, like 10-foot wide freaking thing. It's like, watch the road.
No cell phones, no GPS yet, and they have a meme going around right now. It's like, yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, pizza delivery people would get your address, take your order, and then they would just, like, on intuition, luck, and perseverance would get that pizza to your house within 30 minutes or it's free.
Yep.
It's crazy. Josh, do you want to do some channel business and then in the episode?
Yeah, you've seen it on the screen pretty much the whole episode. Shoot us an email, slashtrax2020@gmail.com. We love to hear from you. Or if you got like a request for what you want us to review or talk about, or if you want to sponsor the channel. And, you know, we depend on all of you to keep the channel funded. So if you would like to join the Patreon, it's on the screen right there. Or you can order a $5 cameo video, also on the screen. And in the description and pinned comment, you can tip us. If you like what we're doing, you can send us a tip, and we appreciate every single one through PayPal or Cash App. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out the main channel. Lots of horror content over there. Over 74 out of print and fan fiction slasher novels so far. You know, I'm going to hit 100 soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Be excellent to each other. May the power protect you. And remember, the sun never sets on those who ride into it. Say goodnight, Alex.
Good night, Alex. Mahalo, dogs. Mahalo, Slashketeers. Happy Saturday.
And now a message from the Power Rangers.
Man, I just can't do this.
That's right.
You know you'll never do it.
Yeah, you'll never do it.
Give up. You're just gonna fail and look stupid anyway. We've heard enough of this brand of encouragement.
Mission accomplished.
Tell yourself you can do it and keep trying.
Nothing beats the power of determination.